Hey everyone, it's your boy Thanks here, and today I'm doing a follow-up video on my Hypercar and the inner workings of it specifically, because one commenter asked me to do this because he couldn't hear anything out of me from the last video. Alright, heading the workbench, let's give it a quick breakdown. So, this is all visual, the cockpit. So this is the cockpit without any of the glass shielding it. So let's take a look at the onboard controls here. So this is your steering wheel. Actually, it's better if I demonstrate it while it's out of the workbench. So this is this right here. And you have your system on. You have the engine ignition. This keeps the engine running. Hybrid system on. And then this car is actually designed to roll before it starts. So you would have to get the car moving with electric power only to start the engine. Alright, let's break it down a little bit further. Just going to be enough to expose some of the engine here. I'll be sure not to destroy the microcontrollers. I think that's solid. Okay. So I just about to expose the engine right here. The cars are barely recognizable. So this engine's a V8. So so it has two fuel manifolds and tsunami, and it has 4 air manifolds. So that's 2 air manifolds per cylinder. That's why I do on all my engines, including the Formula One engine. Has the same amount of manifolds. The exhaust comes out the back right here. Then actually these clutches you see down here is the traction difference, the clutch differential. Actually, wait. I know it's it's like the So this is the racing clutch. Where are you plugged in? Oh, it's this one right in the top here. This is the differential mechanism right here. So how that works is, so this is actually the old differential system, but essentially it's based on percentage. So this is fully locked. There's not going to be any difference in between two wheels than fully unlocked. So basically when you turn the steering wheel to its full how I say it, if you turn the steering wheel to its full I guess range, if you turn it fully to one side, the inside wheel is going to be completely separated from the engine, and it's good for rotating the car, but only really under power. Let's see what's here then. Then this right here is the master clutch right here. So there's a clutch, I think, somewhere. There's another clutch. I think it's to send, I think, oh yeah, racing clutch right here. Yeah, so it goes into the Hypercar starter panel, then it comes out and it goes to the engine's clutch, and it's a smart clutch, so the higher the RPM, the more it's applied. So it's better for power response and making sure the engine doesn't choke out. Then this is the transmission right here, these 4 gearboxes. So this is technically a 7-speed transmission right here. Yeah, and it basically, and then this fourth one right here that's highlighted right now is your final drive ratio reverse. So these three make up for 7 speeds. So like all of these off are the slowest gear: gear 1, gear 2, gear 3, gear 4, gear 5, gear 6, and gear 7 is when all three are activated. And then when all of them are activated, they convert from like 6 to 5, 3 to 2, 9 to 5, all into 1 to 1 ratios. Then it goes through the final drive, and that's when it reaches its highest speed. This is the engine controller right here. So, or this is the hybrid system control right here. So, looking at this, it communicates with this panel. First and foremost, it communicates with the panel is like what mode it's in. It goes anywhere between 0 through 5. 0 is full recharge, like nothing. There's no deployment. Mode 5 is full deployment, and anywhere in between is different modes of deployment in increments of 20%. So like mode 1 is 20%, mode 2 is 40, and so on and so on. I actually corrected myself earlier. There's 6 air manifolds on this. 2 of them are air scoops, the other one's an air filter. And like on both sides, and it's still the same amount of fuel manifolds. I'm gonna start breaking down the car even more. I'm gonna take off these weight blocks, which are solely there to keep the car on the ground. So before actually we break any more of this down, let's go over some of the aerodynamic features. So these are the front winglets, and then that's the rear wing back there. So basically what's going on here is that these outer 2 winglets are actually just for constant downforce, and then this one in the middle is for active aerodynamic braking. So actually, if I go into my car outside here, and I press the brakes, so if I press them, or I think I have the system on. Huh. Or I also kind of have a similar principle on the rear wing too. Yeah, but nothing's happening for some reason. So, okay, so I stand corrected. So these outer 2 are for active braking, and yeah, okay, so do they not have electricity? Okay, so according to this, maybe my steering wheel just wasn't activated. So I guess I gotta look at my controls. Okay, yeah. I don't understand, but that is what happens though. So looking at some of this other stuff here, let's tear it down even more. This is the engine ECU right in the front here. And then let's remove some more of the body work specifically. So this is where we start to see the true hardware of this thing. I'm removing nothing functional, just purely body work I'm removing. So this is where things get interesting. So right here, these 4 tanks on both sides are the fuel cells, and then this is the fuel refueling port right here. And then this is the fuel line that goes towards the engine. There's one both sides. There's one equalizing pipe here in the front, just so like one fuel manifold does run out of fuel before the other. And down here is the hybrid system hardware, and it's provided by 2 motors, and they get geared up 3 times before going towards the main engine. Obviously, this thing's 4-wheel drive, and it connects right up here, right where the transmission comes out. And this stuff. And then here actually is the cooling system. So this is the radiator right down there where that 3x3 area is highlighted. Then what happens is that it gets sucked out this way, goes through the pump, and gets pumped into the engine at one side. Then it gets circulated through all these cylinders, and then it comes out the engine right away, and right away it gets back into the radiator. And then more on aerodynamic features. So this special arrangement of these fins is the rear diffuser. There is actually a really good purpose for this. It's not really much for downforce, but it actually really helps with keeping the car straight back speed at very high speeds. It's kind of like fletching on an arrow. Like it will not let the car lose itself at high speeds. And then these are taillights activated by the brakes. The brakes, obviously the wheels work too. If we go back, and then this is the main product. I'd say it looks pretty respectable. I am planning on maybe doing a rework of this with Thale, now that mods are now in full swing. Like, given that modding support is up, and now there's a mod with revolutionized aviation parts, and like, because apparently for some reason Stormworks made it so that like these super long wedges that are supposed to be less draggy are actually like 4 times more draggy than a regular 1x1 wedge. And Thale's aviation park basically negates it and makes it so it's less draggy. So it might be good for this car, especially to like go maybe over 200 miles an hour. Given that the only car that's faster than it is my Ferrari F2004, and it's just the fact that smaller is what makes it faster, because there's less mass smashing against the air, and or just less surface area in general, less volume, because Stormworks aerodynamics are sometimes janky, but they are predictable sometimes as well. So that's really it for my technical perspective of the hypercar. It there wasn't It's pretty small, so there wasn't much to work space to work with compared to the likes of the F1 car, which is of a very specific design and which is made to maximize room for engine systems while also having separate parts to produce very powerful aerodynamics. And then, oh, before I get one more thing, so this is some of the information panels right here. So, um, so the yellow light here. I'll get out of the select. So the yellow light here is the shift light. It indicates when you need to shift the gear. Then this is your gears. This is your differential on light. And then this is your RPM right here in the bottom. It goes up to like 3,650 RPM. Typically, most Stormworks engines do. This is your speed. I set the max value to 230, but it only really goes 190. So that's going to be it. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.